Hi, this is Ryan Thomas Johnson of Carnosaur 2, and you are listening to The Final Gaze. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to The Final Gaze. My name is Harrison.
And I'm Toby.
And today is the start of a new theme. It's a new month, and pretty much we're just doing...
It's a new day, Harrison.
It's a new day, new month, new theme, and of course, it's the spookiest month of the year, October. So we will be watching and reviewing movies that take place on Halloween, which I hate those lists. You always look up movies that take place on Halloween, and you always have to scroll. Yeah, you just have to get through all the Michael Myers stuff to get to the good stuff. So today is going to be very interesting, only because we are going to be talking about a kids movie, which, of course, as we said,
right?
Our very first kids movie, because this is a straight up kids movie with horror elements. And you know, it's a movie that does take place on Halloween, and I think for a kids movie, it was actually pretty scary. I really thought it was, especially because I grew up watching this movie, Ernest Scared Stupid. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into this, shall we? When was the first time you watched Ernest Scared Stupid?
This morning. No, that's not true. I started it yesterday. I didn't get to finish it, but I watched the bulk of it today. Mm-hmm. So, but I have watched Ernest movies before. I've seen Ernest Goes to Jail, Ernest Saves Christmas, like a bunch of them. I wasn't allowed to watch this one growing up, so that's why I'd never seen it, and then just never went back to it. Never felt a need.
Right. You know, and it's pretty crazy because I think that this was the only one that I've seen as a kid repeatedly. And I did watch the others. There were some that I didn't watch. Like, I didn't watch Ernest Goes to Africa.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, and I haven't even seen Ernest Saves Christmas, but Ernest Goes to Jail, Ernest Goes to Camp, and this one. Those were my three favorites. Mainly the camp one because that native guy was in it. So, and he always reminded me of my grandpa. But yeah, no, Ernest Scared Stupid, I cannot recall exactly when I first watched it, but it was definitely a part of my childhood growing up, you know, renting this on VHS at specifically the Fry's video store. I remember getting it. I was so fascinated by the poster because it was so... For me, it was really cheesy, but it looks so cool. There's like the pumpkin. Ernest, my favorite character in like a horror environment. I was like, wow. But yeah, no, this has been a part of my life forever.
I think I would have really liked it as a kid, honestly. I think I would have really, really enjoyed it. I wish I had seen it a lot younger. I probably would have had much more appreciation for it if I had seen it when I was a kid.
Yeah, and you know, and I'm actually really surprised that a lot of notable horror enthusiasts, this is on their list of like movies to watch for Halloween. You know,
yeah, it is.
You know, as super silly, as super corny, and as super childish as the movie is, it's sort of well respected amongst horror enthusiasts. You know,
it is. Yeah, it appears on a lot of lists.
Yeah, like
as a classic.
Yeah, like today I was kind of browsing through YouTube and I noticed a lot of familiar YouTube channels like Cinemassacre, The Nostalgia Critic, and that one you love with the golden chainsaws. What was that?
Oh, Dead Meat.
Dead Meat. You know, they love this movie so much, so I'm just really excited that it's not. I'm just happy that it's not shunned because there's a lot of good stuff to say about this movie.
Yeah, I
but
agree.
There's also a lot of bad stuff too. So.
Yes, there's one particular moment, really weird moment that I do want to talk about.
Which one?
We'll get there. Okay, so I forgot that Ernest does characters in like, you know, within the movie, and there's several repeated ones, which is like the Roman person, the like butch what are they called, woodcutter people.
Oh, like I think there was one was like a Western cowboy.
There's a cowboy. There's a bunch of a lumberjack. He was a lumberjack.
Lumberjack, right?
And he plays two women characters, an older woman and then like a salon woman, or just like a.
The older lady. The older lady is my favorite.
So good. Mm-hmm. No, I think I like the salon woman or the woman with the hairspray. But there's a moment where they all okay. So he's doing the characters, and then something happens where they get scared, where Ernest gets scared, and then all the characters act scared, and then at the end of everyone's reaction, the woman who's like a stylist goes, "Do you smell fish?
Do you smell fish?"
And I feel like, what does that mean?
What exactly does that mean? Because
in a kids movie, it was such a short moment. I kind of took it that she got so scared that she queefed. Is how I interpreted that moment.
I think that moment was when he was lifting that truck, and then the jack flew into the mayor's back window. So I was just like, okay, I can't put two and two together, but I think that's our only one hidden adult joke in the movie. You know?
It's pretty adult, but yeah, I was just like, did he just say what I think he just saw? Or say what I think he just said?
Yeah. But I don't know. For me, it's the old lady, and I love the old lady in Ernest Goes to Jail. You know, in her attempt to escape jail.
Yes.
It's been a while since I've seen him, but you know, since I've been pretty much enveloped in the world of Ernest, I've been watching a lot of YouTube clips lately. Mm. Yeah. But well, you know what time it is?
It's a nerdy film score talk.
Yeah. Cue the. Oh, I did it again. Cue the. You know, just play the thingy. There we go.
Play the stuff. Okay.
And now it's time for our favorite part of the podcast, Nerdy Film Score Talk. Honestly, there's not much to really talk about.
I was wondering if there was even going to be one.
There's only one thing I want to talk about, and honestly, it's the opening credits, and it's this really awesome, janky like score.
Is it the main theme that's like? Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Is it that one? Okay.
It's that one, yeah.
I like that.
I love it too. It just perfectly encapsulates who Ernest is, and I feel like, and the great thing about this, so the composers are Bruce Arnson, and Kirby Shellstad, and the thing that I found out about them is that they pretty much scored all the Ernest movies. So there was a consistency in taking that theme and making it more jaily, more campy, and more scary for depending on what movie. More African, you know what I mean?
So that song travels from it's like Ernest's theme.
Yeah, it's Ernest's theme just across these whole movies. So you always had that consistency, which you know me, I always love.
That's true.
But honestly, that the YouTube did come up with a complete score for this movie, but I immediately ignored it because it was a rip, and there were sound effects in it. I'm all like, yeah, I can't do this, so I ignored it.
Either.
Yeah, but it's funny because the music is actually really, really good. It's aside from when it gets, honestly, it's the music that makes this movie family friendly. I
can see that. Okay.
Yeah, you just switch up that score and you make it less serious and more sinister, then we have a straight-on horror movie. Because the visuals themselves are absolutely, they're terrifying, I think.
I like the score when it's being, like, so bombastic and ridiculous. Like, anytime any music playing with the trolls around is great. It's like the incidental music, not the incidental, it's the music that's playing probably for the first half of the movie, where Ernest is just kind of being an idiot.
which
like
is
a very
just this quirky, waltzy
slapsticky
kind of
stuff. Yeah, but when it's the trolls, like that main troll, and it's just like whoa,
Yeah,
like
it's
so
like a
ridiculous. A choir.
Yeah,
it's
like
good.
especially with the whole troll finale where they're just attacking the townspeople. It's way more like carnival music,
Yeah.
which is in that sense, if they didn't do carnival music and it was much more like, I don't know, let's say Graham Revel's score for From Dusk Till Dawn, where the vampires attack, then we have a wholly different movie.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
So the music plays an important role to let the children know that they're watching a kid's horror movie and not something horrible, not like a scary stories to tell in the dark movie. This is Ernest Scared Stupid. But yeah, that's really all I really wanted to talk about. I really wish there was like a score release, like an unofficial one. I doubt there would ever be, but I just for the life of me, like when we watched this movie, I was like, who did the music? And these names came up. I'm like, I have no idea who these people are. So, but honestly, you look at their IMDb, they've only ever been credited for the Ernest movies, and I think one of these guys did something in 2011. So. But oh well, they're forever memorialized in the Ernest movies, so yay.
Well, good for them.
Yeah. But that's about it for me. For the Nerdy Film Score talk, there really wasn't much to talk about anyways, but the music made it fun and not overly scary to the point of, oh my god, I need to stop this and complain. Because I can imagine mothers being like, what is this? Yeah.
I mean, it was very... Like, that end part was very Gremlins. With all the trolls running around the forest and attacking people. I felt like, it was very toned down Gremlins.
Yeah. And it also, in some points, it does get dramatic. Specifically the scene at the end, when all the townspeople are screaming in slow motion, and then it's just like the Uber troll, it reveals itself.
Dramatic.
You listen to it, it's all like, you just get the I wish I could reference that part, but I can't, because at least for me, it was just like, okay, take it easy there, Ernest. This is an Ernest movie. This is not an actual standoff. Of course it isn't, because it ends at a dance and a kiss. But
ridiculous.
But yeah, kid score from the 90s. And I will say this too. It does have the benefit of having real performers, real instruments. This is an actual orchestra, not maybe a small orchestra, but musicians in a recording studio playing this music. None of it is... This ain't no Carnosaur, okay?
Yeah. A better movie than Carnosaur? I don't know.
I want to see a hashtag release the R-rated version of Ernest Scared Stupid,
You think there is one? You think there's an R-rated version?
Wholly doubt it, but the fact that there were some, not serious meltdowns, but the fact that there were some pretty gnarly meltdowns with the trolls was
there were a couple. I was kind of surprised at a couple of them. Yeah.
But, all right, well, I guess that's it for music, so we just jump right into the movie.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, well, so as a kid, loved it. Again, on constant repeat, renting this movie, rewatching it. Then, just getting into the 2000s, it just sort of disappeared for me. And then it was in 2011, I think, that Mill Creek released like a triple DVD set with Ernest Scared Stupid, Ernest Goes to Jail, and Ernest Goes to Camp, that I rebought it and experienced it all over again as a 20-something, and I'm all like, oh my god, this is so amazing. But then, 10 years later, we're part of a podcast, we're covering this movie, and now I'm watching it with two people, because our mutual friend Richard, his husband, who does not love horror movies, scared to death of them, agreed to watch this because it was a kid's horror movie. And I'm glad he did.
Did he like it?
Oh, yes, he enjoyed it very, very much. Not very scary. There's only one scene that was scary, I think. But it was just funny because I'm trying to gauge their results or their reactions to it, because I'm thinking, is this too silly? Is this too, I don't know. It's just, it's a bunch of 30-somethings, 20-somethings watching a kid's movie. Yeah, children's movie, And admittedly, I don't know, I felt a little embarrassed because I was all like, oh, I think I talked this movie up too much. Oh my God, it's like the funniest scary movie I've seen, And I feel the only thing that's keeping this going for me is just 100% nostalgia,
See, and I didn't have that, and I wish I did. I think the only nostalgia I had was watching Ernest.
Yeah. And, and him too, because,
he's great.
Jim Varney is fantastic.
If you say anything about the movie, he's so good in the movie.
Uh-huh. And it's funny because now it's like, oh, he has multiple personalities. Like, split personality disorder, which Danny caught on to. Yeah. And I don't know. I enjoyed it, but I could see how people would be like, this is embarrassingly bad. But I'm all like, yeah.
I mean, but it's a kid's movie.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like,
from the 90s.
It's not a good movie. But it is a good kids movie, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to rate it on a different scale, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you really do have to give it a lot of slack, A lot of slack. I thought I was going to hate, dread watching this and, trying to get through it. And I actually got, into the movie. So, I mean.
Yeah, and it's and it's funny because we talked briefly about it at the end. And it was sort of like a reminder of, God, well, I hate that we can say this now, but it was sort of a reminder of the good old days.
Yeah.
Tree houses. I had a tree house, And I remember specifically as a kid watching this, oh my God, I wish I had that tree house.
Yeah.
Riding your bikes into a dreaded forest, which for me was just a wash, but still same difference, just, I'm out late, I better get home because...
I mean, it has the checklist of everything that a kid wants to do. The coolest thing a kid can do is what these kids got to do. So I can definitely see wishing you had all these things, or feeling the nostalgia of a kid who wanting all of these different things.
Yeah. Battling bullies.
Who of course become friends at the end, as they usually do in movies.
Oh, yeah. Which, oh God, I guess, we should probably get into the actual scary elements of this movie.
Okay.
Because, we are a horror podcast, so...
We are.
And, I'm not saying it's the most terrifying thing, but to a 6, 7, 8-year-old...
Yeah, oh yeah, it's gonna be scary to them. I think the part when I was watching, I was like, what would really have scared kids? And I think one is the troll first coming out of the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Its claw reaching out. I was like, that's pretty spot on for a monster movie.
Mm-hmm.
Just a regular monster movie. And then I think all the other trolls coming out of the ground, that just did seem kind of intense and gross and gooey.
I was definitely getting Demon Knight vibes.
I was getting Demon Knight vibes. Like I said, Gremlins the whole time. Really. But other than that, I don't think it's that scary.
Yeah, oh no. I'm not, obviously.
For a kid, I mean. I don't know.
Let's just say, there's one moment that I know stuck with me from childhood, and even watching it now was all fuck that, And I think it's our most, I think it's the scariest moment. It's not even truly that terrifying, but the idea of it happening is terrifying. It's the part where the little girl is looking under her bed and then she turns over
and thinking that.
Yeah, and the troll is in the bed. I'm all like, oh my God.
You're right. That was pretty scary for a kid's movie. That part, and then it just occurred to me when the troll had the girl's voice and the boy was looking into the pipe.
Yeah.
I was like, that's kind of creepy. And then when you see the troll and it speaks with her voice, I was like, that's a little fucked up. This kid's going to have a lot of therapy bills.
Oh my, that freaked me out the most, that it could mimic voices.
I also think it's kind of cool. I mean, the movie's basically like a child slasher movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because the troll's going around just knocking off all these different kids for the most part.
And that was actually kind of shocking now, even kind of thinking back on it, watching it recently just for a podcast that, they don't die.
No.
But to a kid, these kids are getting killed.
He's taking their souls, aren't they? And turning them into dolls.
Yeah, and that is terrifying. That is like to be basically killed by this troll, your soul's being used to resurrect his kind. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh my God. And I know that first kid to get, the one who's looked in the pipe, looked incredibly annoying. And in fact, probably the weakest actor of the whole movie, I think.
I agree.
Because he just had that 90s videotape infomercial acting going. Yeah. Oh, my heart was in my chest, So, I mean, I don't think any of the kids were really that great, honestly.
I don't think anyone in the movie was good. Mm. That's not true. The adults were actually pretty good. Yeah. None of the kids were good.
Mm-mm. And it sucks because the adults were just incredibly stupid. Like,
they're a bunch of assholes. Like every kid's movie, all the adults are a bunch of assholes. But the best part of the movie for me, I mean, Ernest is like up there, but I think Eartha Kitt was like the best thing in this movie.
Which was recently brought to my attention. I can't believe I forgot this, but Eartha Kitt was Yzma from from the Emperor's New Groove. Yzma, yes. And it's crazy, and it's funny because I felt so stupid for like the longest time up until you guys proved it or told me that I was wrong. But I thought Eartha Kitt was Uhura. So I was like, oh yeah, you're gonna love it because Uhura's an Ernest Scared Stupid, and I'm like, no, she's not. I'm like, oh shit, that's my bad. But instead, it's original Catwoman, so I'll take that too.
I love her. I mean, she like really goes for it.
Mm-hmm. And she is, I guess, she's our harbinger of doom, right?
She's the harbinger of doom, yeah, for sure.
I mean, she doesn't do I think she does one dumb thing, though. It's off screen, but she basically tells Ernest how to resurrect the troll.
And when he starts telling the kid's like, oh, she said to do this, I was like, when did she say that? And then I realized, I was like, oh, this happened he left and then came back, and during that time, she told him like the entire story or something. Yeah. I wonder if that was a rewrite. Or like maybe, an editing thing?
Because I feel it would be very important to have, like, shown that.
Seen her, like, with the book, like, explaining everything mystically, and not him just, like, leaving and coming back and being like, oh, by the way, kids, guess what?
Yeah, I guess maybe, because I guess in that moment when he does leave, those bullies do attack the treehouse, but I guess it would be kind of weird to be like, oh, and by the way, we're going to cut to the scene that kind of tells what we already kind of know. Like, we know there's a troll there. We know that Ernest can be the one to resurrect it. But I don't know. I just thought it was super funky. But I guess it happened off screen, so whatever. But I still love Eartha Kitt. She is probably,
so
aside from Jim Varney, she is, I think, my second favorite character.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. They're both, like, almost tied for me, I think. Anytime they're on screen is when I'm having the most fun.
Yeah, and I totally forgot that little subplot of her bringing back her sister, her sister back to life.
Yeah, at the end, I was like, oh, that's kind of sweet. I also got a little like, oh, that sucks. Not emotional, but it was sad when, what's his face? Got turned into
Rimshot.
When he first said Rimshot, and I was like, did he say Rimjob?
Oh my God, Danny said the same thing.
For a second, he said it the first time. I was like, what did he just say? But it's Rimshot. The cutest dog, little trained dog ever. I just kept like imagining him on set, like being trained to bark and stuff. But that was sad when he got turned. I didn't expect it, and they even carved him like the kids, because all the kids, whenever you saw their statue. Doll version, they were like, ugh. And when they did Rimshot, he's like this too, and I just like, it was a cute detail.
Yeah, no, Rimshot's always been a staple with Ernest, and it's just like, and it's funny because people
he's
always
only
like
in 2 movies.
Yeah, and it's funny because people always reference like, oh, Wishbone, but I'm like, no, for me it's Rimshot. Yeah.
Oh, I like Wishbone was pretty good, and to be fair, Wishbone had several seasons of a TV show.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I guess I was never really into Wishbone. For me, it was always Rimshot.
He was Wishbone, wasn't he? Didn't he solve mysteries?
Mm-hmm. He was like Sherlock Holmes.
He was
Robin
Sherlock
Hood.
Holmes. You're right. I loved I was a fan of Wishbone.
Yeah, but we should probably also give major props to, the prop department, I guess.
The effects. I definitely want to talk about the effects.
Not the optical effects. The optical effects are definitely dated. With those little weird spooky ghost things that come out of the ground every once in a while.
When they die, or when he's sucking the soul or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like the practical effects.
The troll makeup. That's not even a makeup. It's like an animatronic face on everything. Oh my god!
It was pretty good. Everything with the troll was pretty good. Actually, I was surprised that. I was expecting just a rubber mask that didn't have any kind of motion or anything, and it actually was fully
functional.
Yeah.
And even what. And I'm not saying I was scared, but thinking back on it, when that troll goes into Uber mode, just becomes a more demonic looking,
I like its claws.
Yeah, the way the claws come out. Oh. And, they use reverse photography a lot there, with those, whatever those things were coming out of its ears. But
that was gross. It reminded me of the thing with, antenna things coming out.
And in a little bit of trivia, which I just discovered this today, the guy who did the practical effects for this movie did the practical effects for Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah, I read that. That's funny. And when I read that, I was like, I can totally see it. This is definitely Killer Clowns with some brown makeup and brown hair instead of clown
makeup.
Which
you can totally see it now. And for 31 years, I've never put two and two together until today. So it's haha.
Okay, so does Ernest do blackface in this movie?
You see, that's what I was thinking too. When he plays the
brown face, yeah.
Yeah, when he does the the whole Ottoman Empire thing.
Yeah.
What are they called again? I forget what he
I don't remember. He was saying it over and over again, but I forget what it was.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I'm going to say yes. I think he was doing definitely brown face because, that's the one thing I noticed, but I didn't want to bring it up. I was like, oh,
sorry,
no.
I just felt like it had to be said. Also, can I just say that Ernest P. Worrell could totally get it?
Of course.
And I asked Brian, and he concurred.
God, it's so weird to think of Ernest P. Worrell, Ernest as a desirable man. Maybe Jim Varney.
You know what? I bet he's wild.
Do you think he's wild?
Because he doesn't have any. He's he doesn't have self-control. So he just jackhammers.
Oh my god!
You get a good 5 minutes and then it's done. But I mean, I bet it's fun. There was a moment where he's playing a cowboy for a second, and I was like, oh, when he was playing the safari dude that looked like Muldoon from Jurassic Park.
Oh my god.
With his Australian accent, and he had a tan.
Yeah. Oh my god, you are my childhood idol is being sexualized. Unfortunately, I don't find Ernest that attractive because to me he's always Ernest. However, have you seen him in other movies?
I haven't. Well, I probably have Jim Varney. I probably have seen him because he's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I couldn't name one off the top of my head.
The only one that I've seen him ever play not Ernest, just a complete opposite of Ernest, where he played this really suave, sophisticated villain, was the god-awful Three Ninjas at Mega Mountain? Showdown at Mega Mountain or something? Something like that. But he played the bad guy there, and his hair was slicked back, and he wore suits. He looked like a James Bond villain. I'm all like, wow, there's Ernest, but that's not Ernest.
I'll have to add that one to the list.
Yeah, or maybe his evil clone or his evil twin in Ernest Goes to Jail.
Oh yes, I need to rewatch that.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna watch it after this because I don't know. I've just like I said, I've been on an Ernest binge all day.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but no, Ernest just can't do it for me. Unfortunately, nope. You leave him alone. He's got to fight a troll. God, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting because it is a bad movie. It has a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's really. I mean, it didn't exactly change the game.
What I just watched last night. Brian had me watch Halloween Town for the first time with him.
Oh.
And that movie's fucking terrible. So, and compared to this, I mean, this movie blows Halloween Town out of the water.
But see, that's the...
And for all you people who are like, oh, Halloween Town or Hocus Pocus, and all the people who said Halloween Town, dumbasses.
Yeah, no. If we're comparing Halloween Town to Hocus Pocus, Hocus Pocus always wins. Yeah, and dare I say, if there is a 1, 2, 3 rating system here, we're gonna go 1 Hocus Pocus, 2 Ernest Scared Stupid, 3 Halloween Town. If we're gonna do those 3 movies, which, by the way, Hocus Pocus is in theaters this week.
Wait, did you have Hocus Pocus before or after Ernest Scared Stupid?
No, it was Hocus Pocus then Ernest Scared Stupid.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, and it's strange because Halloween Town, despite how bad it is, it's still a staple in a lot of people's Halloween lineup, So it's strange. It's a bad movie, much like Ernest Scared Stupid, but it's still loved. And I think it's those kind of movies that
it has moments.
Yeah. I think my favorite moment in this whole movie is and it's also my favorite line and moment. What about a bumper sandwich booger lips? And then he runs over the troll.
Yeah, he runs over. Doesn't the troll just disappear?
Yeah, he goes underneath it
or hits the tree.
Yeah, but the best thing about it is that Rimshot's driving the vehicle so well too.
Yeah, okay. The whole scene of the car attack, and then Jim Varney, it was just the choreography of him in the driver's seat. The troll comes in and he goes out the side window and the troll tries to follow him. I just thought was so funny. Mm-hmm. And then when I realized that the dog was driving the car and the scene I thought that was going to be one shot, but the scene he drives the car for the full scene and Jim Varney's even looking around for the troll and the dog's still ridiculous. I mean, this movie's nonstop nonsense, but I just thought that was pretty funny.
It's put the truck in reverse and he just does it so perfectly. I love Rimshot so much, but I don't know. It's funny because I don't know. I'll keep saying it. I think for me it's just this movie's being kept alive for me personally just through nostalgia. It really shouldn't be seen as the classic, but for some it is. So for some,
I can definitely see why
really
people. I can definitely see why kids who saw the movie in the 90s would love it now. Mm-hmm. Probably the same reason why I love Hocus Pocus. I mean, there's Hocus Pocus haters who don't understand why that movie is as beloved as it is. But for me, I saw it in such an impressionable age that it is that for me. So I can totally see similar elements in this movie. And I definitely thought Hocus Pocus, when they had the beginning of the movie, was back in the olden times, and you see
right,
which was I was like, damn, they're burying this thing alive.
Yeah, and it's pretty funny because it's I think I read something too where there was a lot of similarities between this and Hocus Pocus. Not sure about the opening credits.
And he's stealing the souls from little kids, basically.
Yeah, and instead of a troll, it's 3 witches.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, no, this came out in 91, so.
Hocus Pocus came out after, which is kind of funny.
Got some explaining. Well, they were both under Disney too, so whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's really not. It's not. It's not like it's a character piece where we get into the psyche of Ernest, which, in some ways, we do because he just expresses himself through multiple personalities. But Ernest Scared Stupid is a very beloved film to me. Mm-hmm. I love it. And I feel that this would be a movie that I would show my kid.
I would let my kid watch this movie.
Yeah, look what Dad grew up with, and this is it would be a yearly thing at Halloween. We're gonna put on Ernest Scared Stupid.
I would show them Ernest Scared Stupid, and then Hocus Pocus, and then Scream.
Yes, that's
I feel like that'd be the natural progression.
Just we're gonna jump a whole, not even a puddle, a whole ocean suddenly. Oh yes, Hocus Pocus, Ernest Scared Stupid, Scream. But yeah, well then, gosh, let's get into final thoughts then.
Okay. Well, I really did enjoy this movie. It definitely didn't give me any of the nostalgic feelings that I wish I could have had rewatching it. I do, like I said, I really wish I had seen it as a kid because I probably would have a much larger appreciation for the movie. That being said, it was pretty enjoyable. I didn't hate the 2 hours. I will say it's too long. It does not need to be 2 hours. They can cut out like 20 minutes in this movie.
What? It was like 90 minutes.
It felt like a million years towards the when the demon or the troll like is first defeated before it becomes Uber Demon or Uber Troll. I thought the movie was ending, and then it just kept going. I felt like they could have trimmed some stuff around there. Other than that, it was a pretty enjoyable experience. Just let go of any kind of stop looking for a good movie. Basically, watch this as with the child's eye, and you'll have a couple laughs. So
watch this with the child's heart.
With the child's heart, and what is it? Child's heart and unconditional love, Harrison.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and unfortunately, I think Danny did watch it that way, because here I was concerned of how embarrassing it would be to be showing this kid's movie to my adult friends, but he had a really good time, and they laughed at the right moments, and there were obviously some jokes that didn't land very well, but for the majority of it, it was a good experience because they were reacting at the right moments,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, as I even started saying before this, this is just a trip down memory lane. It's a movie that's strictly kept alive because of nostalgic feelings, and for some reason, I don't know why, you're gonna hear it here and now, but I just feel there's some kind of ultimate Blu-ray collection of these movies coming soon. I just feel it in my gut because they've been making a lot of awesome announcements for like new collector's editions.
I've noticed they have, especially with some like obscure movies, like not very popular movies. So perhaps.
And I don't know. I just feel that this is some little company out there, hopefully not Mill Creek, because they are notorious for doing horrible remasters. But I just feel that it's going to get like the 5-movie, the complete Ernest collection on, for $90. I don't know. But you heard it here. I just feel like something's coming like that,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because what I'm most excited for is that Tremors.
Oh, I'm really excited for the Tremors.
And Richard's never seen it, so
that'd be a good one.
That'll be amazing to show him because I don't think he knows how great of a creature feature that is.
It really, yeah. Mm-hmm. I know it's gonna be so fucking stupid and terrible, but I am looking forward to Tremors 7, Shrieker Island.
Oh right, when is that coming out?
This month, the end of this month. I think that's the 22nd or something of this month.
Just in time for Halloween. Great. I keep buying these Tremors like sets, and I think I have one steelbook with 6 movies in them. Now it's pointless because now there's going to be the Tremors re-release, and now Tremors 7.
7, yeah.
Great.
But Ernest Scared Stupid is a really, really, really awesome movie. If you're 5 years old and impressionable, and if you were born in the 90s, because this movie is the epitome of the 90s. Therefore, it's incredibly nostalgic. It's fun and it's scary, even though it's not scary by our standards. But it is it has its moments.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it's the greatest bad good movie ever. I think that's the best way to explain it because it's not
high praise.
Yeah, you can't. It's not going to win any accolades. It's not going to. I don't even think it did. I think it failed at the box office for a funny reason.
It failed. That's why he didn't get. After this movie, they went straight to DVD or straight to video because this movie greatly underperformed.
Yeah, because it was made for $9 million, made $14 million, and they say the reason was because kids thought it may have been too scary.
It was too scary, so perhaps.
Yeah.
I feel like, I guess Hocus Pocus was coming later, and I think Hocus Pocus is scarier in some aspects.
Yeah, and it's funny because, I don't know, because I would say Gremlins, but that was at a time when people could cuss in PG-rated movies.
Yeah. Gremlins is way scarier than... Mm-hmm. It's one of the scariest kids... It's not even really a kids movie, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Which we'll be covering next year for Christmas. Oh, wait, is it this year? I forget. But regardless, it's on the list. But yeah, long story short, I love it.
So how many's?
So how many little wooden kid statues do you give this out of 5?
All right, so I'm going to give this 2 wooden kid statues out of 5. I'm probably never going to watch it again, to be honest, but it was an enjoyable one-time watch for me. But that's about it. Like, it's already kind of fading from my mind. It's not the best kids movie out there. Like, we've talked about Hocus Pocus and Gremlins and things like that, but it was a fun time when I watched it, so I'm going to give it a solid 2.
Okay. Okay, well, admittedly, my rating is going to reflect how I feel about it personally. And it's still a fair rating. I'm going to give this 3 out of 5 wooden statues. Again, it's just, I enjoy it so much, I feel that if I were a hard, cynical man, I probably would have hated this movie. But just because it brought me back to my childhood and it made me smile, and I was actually able to share it with some friends here. It was a really fun experience again. And unlike you, I think I will watch this again. Every year I think Halloween, that's going to be my thing now. It's
a tradition.
At some point, Ernest Scared Stupid is going to be playing on the TV during Halloween.
Cool.
Yeah, and just a quick thing. After we were done watching, Richard started telling me an interesting story about how Jim Varney and Robin Williams did this stand-up piece together where, because, Robin Williams does characters as well, but all of Jim Varney's characters did a skit with Robin Williams doing all of his characters. And I saw
that was amazing.
I only saw a little bit of it, and I have it on my favorites to watch the whole thing. But it's crazy because I usually forget that Jim Varney is a comedian as well with these characters. Because what did he start off? He started off like commercials,
Yeah.
selling. He said Mellow Yellow is better than Mountain Dew. I don't know about that.
I don't think I agree with him, but made him a fortune.
And like milk commercials, and then he was part of some TV shows, and then the Ernest character came to the movies.
Yeah.
So I thought that was just very, very interesting. And unfortunately,
do you think we'll ever get like a Flow movie?
A what?
Flow from Progressive, because it's like a similar.
Oh my God!
Like she has. I mean, she makes bank off those commercials. She created that character. And like I feel like she's following the Ernest path of like having a household name. Everyone knows who Flo is. I feel like I could see her having a TV show or some kind of movie franchise where she goes around saving people with insurance or something. I don't know. She loses her job. She gets fired as the for someone younger. I'm gonna write her movie right now. Okay. She gets fired from Progressive because for a new, younger Flo, and it's her traveling the country to try and find her new purpose.
Yeah, and plus, it's got to be a streaming exclusive movie, given how the world is right now. Yep.
Exactly.
My God. See, I'm just surprised stuff like an Eminem movie hasn't been made yet.
I mean, they do make that joke in the Eminem commercial that plays in every fucking movie where he says, "This is why we don't make movies." But I'm really surprised too.
Yeah, I mean, we got an Emoji movie. Come on, let's get a Flow movie. I would totally see that.
Yeah.
So this is a pretty short episode, so we are going to be doing 3 questions from last episode, the spooky questions. So we really need to pad out this run time here. So. All right, so here we go with our first question out of 3 for this episode. Question number 1. Is there any horror movie you refuse to watch because the commercials scared you too much?
That is a tough question. I mean, not now. Not at this... Well... No, I mean, not currently. I'm trying to think if there was a commercial I saw that particularly scared me. There was a commercial, and it kept me from watching the Child's Play movies for a bit. And it was because there was this commercial that used to play for Universal movies on VHS. And I forgot what fucking movie I was watching. I rented, but for some reason they had the scariest fucking commercial where it was like knife slices, and it was like clips from Chucky, The Mummy, all these other like really scary movies, but there was one particular like clip of Chucky I remember, and like I just remember like the trailer voice was a very scary voice talking about these movies, and when I saw that as a kid, I just like never gonna watch Chucky. For some reason, that stood out to me as like the most evil movie ever, and so it took me a while to see Chucky. But as of now, no, I pretty much there's no I don't think there's any movies trailers I've seen so far that make me not want to watch the movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't say like it was too scary, but I mean there have been scary trailers. The one that came to mind was for The Conjuring.
That was pretty scary.
Where they did the whole clap game in the trailer, and I thought that was absolutely terrifying. And gosh, I haven't been. I've watched it just this year during like the full quarantine, but the moment in, oh God, what was that movie? I think it was Annabelle. But it's like there's a door that's swinging or something, and then it swings. You see this girl behind it, and then she's gone. You know, where a trailer does those extended moments of the scariest parts of the movie,
where it gets real quiet.
Yeah, well, not even real quiet. Like, oh God, what's that one? Maybe you can help me remember. I think it's there's this girl who's sitting in a corner, and then she runs toward this woman, and in like one of the shadows, she just turns into a fully grown, scary woman.
Oh, I haven't seen it. No, it's a little boy, isn't it? And the little boy runs to the mom, but when he goes past the shadow, they do that whole "what lies beneath" thing, where it's like a full-grown man. I forget what the name of the movie was. It kind of came and went, but people were like, "Oh, this is going to be the next Hereditary, like the next super scary movie." I forget the name.
I forget it, and I don't even know if I saw it or not.
It had the blonde chick from Orange Is the New Black, the main girl, or main-ish. She was like the main girl of the first season.
Huh. Oh my God, no. I don't remember it, but you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And again, it didn't deter me from the movie, but it was a scary-ass trailer.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
And I honestly can't even think of anything else. Like, oh no, I don't want to watch that. That's too scary. Maybe if I was a kid, like I remember.
Probably, yeah, if I was a kid.
Yeah, like I remember when they did the re-release of The Exorcist, and they had a trailer playing for that, and you know, for me, that movie was, you know, the absolute like, the devil, Satan, avoid it. So I was like, oh no, you know, but that one was like 10 or something, 10 or was that 2000 when that happened when that came out again?
Yeah,
you know?
something like that.
But yeah, no trailers really ever deter. I mean, there have been movies that weren't horror movies that I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch this.
Oh, definitely,
at all.
yeah, definitely.
Like for instance, I mean, I get what they're trying to do, but they're trying to sell these really horrible movies that are coming out to theaters still. For instance, The War with Grandpa, with Robert De Niro. So I'm like, oh no! Oh, and that firefighter movie with John Cena last year. What was it? I don't know.
I didn't even watch it. No.
I didn't watch it all, but I'm like, oh, this is embarrassingly bad. That scared me more. Well, on to question 2, and I think this is going to be a good one. What are you superstitious about?
Ooh, that's a good one. You know, I do feel like I don't know if superstitious is the right word. I mean, I'm not super superstitious about this, but I had a friend in high school. She would not let walk on opposite sides of like a pole or a pillar or something. Mm-hmm. Ever. And one day, like, we would be walking towards something and she would immediately veer and like walk on the same side that I would. And one day I was like, "But I noticed you do this. What's the thing?" And she's like, "Oh, you're never supposed to have something split between you because it means one day you'll never be friends again, or your paths are gonna divide." And so I think about it I think about it all the time, honestly, but I don't feel like that's a true thing. To be fair, we're not friends really. I mean, we might say a couple words to each other every couple of years or something, but so maybe it is true, but I do think of that sometimes. Other than that, I'm not too superstitious about things. I mean, I was raised very super religious, so if someone says like "fuck God," like I just did, I'll get a little like jolt of I can't believe sacrilege.
Oh.
But I'm an adult now, so I can say what I want. But sometimes if someone curses that, I don't know. But really, there's not a whole lot that gets me like that anymore.
And, in regards to that walking, like, being split by a pole, walking past it, wasn't that, like, hilariously parodied in Scary Movie?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, they run over or something. Oh, wait, was it? Yeah, it was Scary Movie.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. Oh, so, God, this is a big question. This is a big question for me, because what am I not superstitious about? I'm not to the point of, like, that character from Pirates of the Caribbean, Black Spot,
Oh, yeah.
But, like, I think this all comes down to logic. Don't walk over a grave, stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's
I
one
guess
thing
don't desecrate. I mean, I'm never going to desecrate a grave.
Yeah, again, don't.
As of right now.
As of right now. Oh, shit. I know you should never remove. I got to make some warning signs for that cemetery.
Just down
Beware
the street.
of Toby. One of the things that I started doing randomly, and I thought that I'd take it seriously. I just think it's funny, but it's that whole thing where if you accidentally spill some salt, you have to pinch a few and then throw it behind you. You ever hear about that?
I have heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I read up on that because, like, what is with that? Because I think someone did it in front of me. I thought that was the most strangest thing, and I looked it up, and apparently, it's so you get that salt, so you throw it so that it can blind Satan behind you.
Behind you.
Salt in his eye, which.
So dropping salt is a Satanable offense. I'm just made that up. Satanable offense.
Satanable offense.
It'll summon Satan. I think that's kind of petty of him.
Which is funny because even like in ritualistic sense, at least pure salt is supposed to be very protective.
Yeah, you make a ring of salt around you or your whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I just also think it's funny that Satan's gonna come bother you because of the thing.
Spilled salt.
Because of the thing that will also defeat him if he comes to you.
Mm-hmm.
You spill some salt, motherfucker. Why didn't I see that coming?
Another good term is Luciferian.
I like Luciferian, but I'm going to say Satanable offense.
Satanable offense, right. God, and what else? There was one
that is going on a t-shirt if we ever sell shirts. Satanable offense.
Satanable offense, spilling salt. And it's just going to be like salt being thrown into Lucifer's eye.
Yes.
I'm not even sure if it's a superstition or not, but and it really freaked me out the other night. I was sleeping so well, and out of nowhere, I wake up, my eyes shoot straight open, and my little alarm clock's right in front of me, and the time reads 3:33. So I believe, what is that, like numerology? Just seeing, especially when it comes to those numbers, 333.
You in danger, girl.
But but then it's hilarious because it happened again, and it was 420. So I'm getting some mixed signals from this house. I don't know what's going on.
Be scared, here. But also smoke a joint.
But yeah, no. So I have, I guess, superstitious thoughts about the witching hour. I wholly believe that that is a very unholy hour in which evil
I
thrives.
wake up at 3 a lot, between 2 and 3, a lot, almost every night.
That's crazy. Did you ever determine if your new place was haunted?
So we did like one of those stupid Facebook article things of like the candle at the door and I don't know, and it didn't work. I mean, apparently, according to that test, we are not haunted. But just last night, while we were watching Halloween Town, maybe it summoned something. The light in the living room light turned on
by itself.
Wow. And we like looked at the wall, and the switch was up, and the wheel. There's a remote that'll turn it on, and that was like way far from us on the table, and we were just like, "Did you do that? No, did you do that?" And we just let it go. But I felt like that was pretty spooky, and we still hear like little creaky creaks up in the attic.
Dude, me too. Ever since I got this insulation installed, I've been like, just in
Now
always the same area.
Now you just made it nice and warm.
Oh God.
Nice and cozy.
Well, whatever's in here, at least it makes me go to sleep right after I see
At least you're not alone.
Fuck. Oh, the back door is closed. So
is that your back door?
Yeah, no, not the back door, but the back room, the haunted room door is closed.
Oh, the haunted room.
Yeah. But okay. Oh my God, this is a good one to end on. Okay. It's number 31. Very significant now because we are 31 years old. What do you think hell looks like?
Well, Harrison, I feel like we've been in hell this whole year, so I feel like it looks quite like this. You know what it's like?
Like this.
I think it's like Wrist Cutter. Have you seen Wrist Cutter as a love story?
Yes, I have.
I think it's like that. I feel like hell is life, but just a little bit worse. Like just a little bit more annoying. So, like you get a pizza, but it's stale. But you still get pizza, We get to go to a movie, but they only show the same movie. So I feel like that's what I'm moving further and further away from the like fire and brimstone version of hell, of constant screams, and more leaning towards a purgatory like kind of hell, kind of like 2020. So
wow, okay,
I believe hell is all around us.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who think that right now this is hell. Like this,
we are literally there.
Yeah.
I mean, if we found out that was true, I wouldn't be surprised. Like we all died suddenly, and it happened like that.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because I think mine's the complete opposite, where where at least kind of following in line with the whole multiverse theory, because I think hell, heaven, earth is all
other
part
dimensions,
of,
right?
Yeah, other dimensions in the same world. So kind of similar to how Constantine handles hell, where it's literally just the same existence, but it's just hellish and burning and destroyed. But yeah, no, I kind of believe in the whole fire and brimstone part of it, and it's funny because I have like a specific idea of how torture would go, and it's absolutely ridiculous because I think it came to me one night when I was watching Mortal Kombat fatalities. They just show all of them, and I was thinking, in hell, there's going to be some kind of like giant like wheel with the thing on it, so if it stops on something, and in those spots there's going to be like a fatality from Mortal Kombat, and you just constantly have to spin it, and whatever you get, that's what the fatality again. It just repeatedly
and you just keep respawning.
Yeah, and
that would suck, Harrison.
Horrible, right? Like
I would find you know what? I'm not standing for it. I would find a way out of that bullshit.
And it's funny because you hope that whatever happens to you, you don't feel a lot of pain. So like the beheadings, okay, we'll get the beheading.
You're gonna get constant pain. You're hell.
And also, I hated the movie, the new Hellboy remake with David Harbour as Hellboy, but the way they handled the design of the demons and the way
so scary.
Oh my God!
The demons attacking London or whatever was the best scene and was really cool.
It legitimately
creeped you out, right?
It shocked me. I'm like, where the fuck did this come from?
It was a different movie.
Yeah, there were some horrible things happening on there. And I didn't say I got queasy, but I was just like...
Yeah, it was just shocking.
Yeah, I was like, that sucks. That guy was just jogging. He got his whole body smushed by But, so it's going to be those demons in a Constantine hell with a wheel of death that are Mortal Kombat fatalities. And everything's on fire.
Of course. Genius. Flames also.
Yeah, but also, I do like the idea of the opposite of that too, where it is the purgatory version. I kind of like how the TV shows Supernatural and Lucifer handle that. It's just like, especially Lucifer, where it's like your own personal chamber in hell where you just relive all of your sins that, because ultimately that's where the guilty goes. So like, it doesn't have to be
So I'm
murder.
just going to be fucking left and right.
I guess so. Oh my
I'm gonna
God.
relive all my sins, and all it is just repeatedly everyone I've ever hooked up with.
Jesus, and it's
Over
like,
and over
oh well,
and
hey,
again.
this ain't hell. This is, but a couple thousand.
I didn't
years
make
of
the
it.
rules. Just being so irritated.
Oh, sex is just so boring.
Oh God.
Can we get a Cenobite up in here?
Can I speak to the manager?
But yeah, those are 3 questions there. We're gonna save the rest for short episodes or whenever we need to do a filler episode. But just to give you an example of what is coming up for the questions, what is the scariest horror game you ever played? Have you ever created a voodoo doll? Are you afraid of clowns? So
No.
it's like,
Okay, those are good.
Those
Yeah,
are good examples. Oh God, for some reason, the last question, what is your favorite part of Halloween? Oh, wait, I'm thinking maybe the holiday, not the movie. I'm hoping it's not the movie. Yeah. But find out when we need to fill up some episodes with some questions. Yeah.
Cool. That was fun.
So, that was very fun. So now, next week's movie, I think is going to be super duper fun because I think this one is definitely a classic. It's definitely up there with, it's definitely a lot of horror aficionados list to watch for Halloween. Night of the Demons. So that's going to be really super fun. That one
That's
actress.
a fun one.
Yeah,
Angela.
And wasn't that a remake of an Italian movie called Demons, or is that just totally separate?
I think that's separate.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a Demon series and then Night of the Demons.
Night of the Demons. And there's 3 of them, right?
Yeah, and then a remake.
Okay. They remade it?
Mm-hmm. You didn't see the remake with
No.
Eddie Terminator, John Connor.
Edward Furlong?
Edward Furlong and what's-her-face plays Angela. Shannon Elizabeth.
How did I not hear about this?
Came out in like 2010-ish.
Oh, did you watch it?
I've seen it several times. I was really excited for it when it was being released.
Was it good? Or?
No.
Oh,
but I mean,
okay.
I wouldn't mind watching it again.
Interesting. Well, how about this then? I feel that the movies we're covering this month are pretty well loved, and I feel all we'll have to say about them is good things. How about we kind of do a double feature, kind of starting that whole remake original series, and we do Night of the Demons original and Night of the Demons remake.
Totally down for that.
Boom, 2 for 1 next week.
You heard it here, folks.
Alrighty, well, as always, you can listen to us on all of your social medias. We are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, we're on Twitter. Be ready to say farewell to the website, for it will not be coming back. So you can visit us for a couple of weeks at www.thefinalgaze.com. You can also listen to us on all your podcast stations. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and YouTube, where you can see videos of this whole conversation go down. So join us next week on Tuesday, where we cover 2 movies, Night of the Demons and Night of the Demons. So what was that, like 1980 something and 2010?
2010-ish, 2009 maybe. I'll have to look it up, but it's around there.
Yeah, it seems to be right in that peak of
And there's
horror
cameos,
remakes.
of course.
Oh, cameos.
Cameos
okay.
from the original movie.
Wow. Okay, I'm very intrigued about this. I'm going to go look for it right now because I think Richard will only want to watch at least I would want to just show Richard the original. So
yeah, the original is a better movie, but it is worth watching, I think.
Yeah, and if you want like just a classic feeling and look of Halloween, the opening credits from the original, love it. Every once in a while, I'll just watch that on YouTube because of how awesome it is. So join us next week on Tuesday when we discuss that.
Well, until then, I'm Toby.
And my name is Harrison, and we are the Final Gaze.
Oh, also, the trolls were defeated by milk. Totally forgot to mention that.
Oh!
Just leave that as a blooper.
Not Miak, which I thought was hilarious because the whole Miak thing was unnecessarily extended with Ernest.
Yes, yeah, milk. So.
I don't know what it is. Did you actually Google that? Did you see if it exists?
No, I didn't.
All I know is that it's seasonal and it's from Bulgaria.
Yeah, Bulgarian Miak. I don't.
But yeah, so if you have a troll problem, milk. I think it has to be 2% milk.
I would say none of that.
Not whole milk. And as my good friend Ron would say, skim milk is not milk. It's just water that's lying about being milk.
So yeah, it's a fraud.
Don't even try, and don't even get me.
Not even once.
And don't get me started on this nut milk.
Actually, I drink only nut milk now because regular milk upsets my tummy. So we have almond milk.
Oh, almond milk. Right.
Four cartons of it.
So, 2% milk.
The best blooper, the longest blooper ever. I think you should just cut that. Just put that whole thing at the end.
This is the best blooper so far because I cannot think that I don't think we had any bloopers in this one at all. So, here's your blooper. We hope you love it. You have a good night. We love you.